So this is the scenario we are going to take up in this session. And so the first and foremost question, why iOS development? So you have a lot of various operating systems for mobile. You have Android, you have Windows, and all those things. So out of these, so why you should choose iOS means we have a lot of reasons for that. And the main reasons are this iOS, it is the most advanced mobile operating system up to date. So you don't find any features or the hardware configuration that are present in iOS devices anywhere. So you have a Touch ID, that is nothing but a fingerprint scanner that is embedded into your iPhone device or iPad device nowadays. So you will have assisted GPS, 3-axis gyrometer, barometer, and all those things. So this iOS SDK along with Xcode IDE, so they will help you a lot in iOS development. It will be very easy for you guys to generate very good applications using all these features. So the next reason is you have a very good powerful foundation framework. So foundation framework is nothing but a framework where all the UI elements and the basic elements or the objects that are defined for iOS development. So this framework will enable you to take the maximum advantage of the iPhone device hardware. So basically you have BSD sockets for networking, and the OS X kernel will be in sync with you, and you will be able to access all the features directly, and you can share all these sockets and kernel programming between iOS and OS X. That means you can write applications that will be able to communicate from your iPhone to your Mac. So another one is the Cocoa Touch framework. So we have 4 layers in our iPhone architecture. So Cocoa Touch is the top layer. So this is nothing but the user interface, what the user will see on his device. So everything is defined in Cocoa Touch framework. So you can have multi-touch events, multi-touch controls, or alerts, or web view, or camera, or localization. So everything will be in Cocoa Touch framework. All the graphics, animations, page transitions, so everything you will be able to do it with Cocoa Touch frameworks. So now the other main reason is, so you have a very good graphics, and you can generate a very good graphical interface for your applications. So you have 2D drawing, you can render some of the objects in 3D, and you have direct access to your video playback and capturing, and all these high-level frameworks that you have within iOS SDK will allow you to create a very good animations and transitions, which will be very fast, and you can do it with ease. So now the next question, like, who can start iOS development? So the basic thing is that you should have a knowledge about any programming language. You don't need to have Java or .NET or any other language. So you should know any object-oriented programming language to understand this better. So whoever you may be, developer, manager, lead, or working professional, you can go for this course, and you can learn how to create applications for your iOS development or for your mobile devices. So the guys who already know something about iOS development, so they can learn much more than what they know. They can take their knowledge to a higher level with this course. So next is, what do you need for this iOS development? So it is basically, you need a Mac with an IDE, that is nothing but Xcode installed on your Mac. So you have basic configurations, you have to get those things first, and then the most important thing is you have to learn a new language, that is Objective-C or Swift. So for this course, you will be learning more of Objective-C than Swift, and at final module, so you will be learning about Swift, about the basics, and you will be given a project about it, so that you will have more ease in both of the languages, Objective-C and Swift. So other than learning a new programming language, so you need to have a good idea of frameworks, that is nothing but foundation framework, which deals with the basic objects and all those things. And the next is UIKit framework, that is for displaying objects, that is nothing but buttons or labels or alerts or whatever, they come under UIKit framework. And core data framework, this framework is mainly used for persistence, that is nothing but storing data on your device. You can call it as a local database. And using all these SDK frameworks, so you have to use them in such a design patterns such as model view controller or delegate pattern or target action patterns. So model view controller is the general design pattern, we use it everywhere. I think most of you know about it. So the model view controller is the basic of iOS development. So without that, you cannot create any page. So using this model view controller in a systematic way will give you a perfect application with more performance. So now let's go for a scenario. Like we shall see what can be done on our iOS applications. So you have a lot of hardware available with you on the device. So let us take a sample scenario. Let's say you are a globetrotter or excursionist. You roam to a lot of tourist places. You go here, you go there, and there you wanted to share, save some memories at those tourist places. Let's say you have to take a picture. You have a photo album and you have camera. You can take a picture. If you want to see what are all the places you have covered it on a map, you cannot do that on your normal maps application. And if you want to share something, you can share it using your social websites, social website applications. But all of them, if you wanted to have it in a single app, that makes your best use case. And you can use this application and you can suggest this application to any tourist or any traveler, so that all the things that are required for a traveler are at a single place. So firstly, so how to achieve this? You have a Mac, you have an Xcode, and you have to develop an application that has all these features. So let's talk about the first requirement, that is nothing but taking a picture at any tourist spot. So to do that, so first thing is that we have to create a new project. So Xcode is our main IDE. So you will develop any iOS application using Xcode itself. So the first one, you have to open Xcode, and then you have to create a new project by going into File. There you will be able to see product name, and you will be asked about organization name and the other things. And mainly the major other thing is nothing but the language. You have to select Objective-C there, and you have to click next. So in this, you should show the user a camera screen, or you have to ask the user to select any picture from a photo library which he already has some photos of it. So from that, if you are going to a camera screen, so there you need to show him the flash button, HDR, and all kinds of camera controls that you will be able to see on a normal camera application. So after clicking next, you will be asked to select a template for that. So select a single view application template. So this will create you a basic model, view, and a controller classes. So this is, as told previously, this is a basic design pattern we always use in iOS development. So view controller.h and .m are the files generally we use for coding, and storyboard is the file which we use for creating user interface. So this is nothing but the interface you have. So you have to set up the interface. You can just drag and drop anything from the object library. So the right bottom of your Xcode IDE, you will have an object library. So from this, you will have a lot of objects, nothing but buttons, image views for showing images, or navigation bars, or back buttons, or labels, or text fields, or switches. You will have all the objects here. So you can directly just drag them and drop it onto your view, so that your view is in a shape that for use with your view controller classes. After that, what you have to do is, so you have designed your UI for this application, and then so you have to map these objects to your view controller classes, so that you can get the details, or you can put the details, or you can show some user interaction on that screen. So that we call them as properties. So what you have to do is, so select the object, control drag it to your view controller class, and you can create a property, or you can create an IB action method. That is nothing but what action you have to do on click of that. So here we have created a method that is called capture button clicked. So this is the action method for the capture button. You can see it on the screen. So for this capture button, whenever this capture button is clicked, so this method capture button clicked will be called, and you have to do whatever you can do there. And you have a captured image view, that is a property for the image view. Image view is nothing but a view on which your image will be shown. Created a better UI for your application. Then you have mapped these view objects to your normal coding objects. So now you have to write some code for capturing the image from the camera or the photo library. So if you see the .m file, so this is the file where we have mapped or linked our view objects. So we have an capture button clicked method that is created for the capture button. So if you see, there will be an empty method implementation that is created automatically whenever you control drag your capture button onto the header file. So you have to, now you have this method, and let's replace this method with some other code. So now I have two options to select a picture. One is either directly capture it from camera, or the second one would be selecting any pre-saved images from your photo library or saved photo albums. Or so you have to ask user which one he has to select. So for that, we will use an action sheet. So action sheet is nothing but it will pop up an alert kind of thing, a drop down kind of thing, so onto the screen, so that user will be selecting whatever he wants. So further selection, so this is the action sheet, image selection action sheet. So for this we are going to allocate init. So you will give a title, you have to give buttons. So here I am giving buttons called camera with titles camera and image library. So these two buttons and the third button with a title called cancel will be created on the screen. So whenever a user clicks on any of the screen, a delegate method will be called. That is nothing but a clicked button at index. So this button will be called, and based on the button index, so which button he has clicked, you will be able to know which button he has clicked, and you have to write a code accordingly. So let's say you have the user has clicked camera. So this is the first button you have, and these buttons that are in action sheet will be 0 indexed in an array. And if the button index is 0, you are going to call a method called select image from camera. Or if it clicks on image library method, then you are going to call select image from photo library method. So whenever you call these methods, you have to select an image from camera. So for this, you have an inbuilt class that will provide you an interface of the camera, actual camera, whatever you have in your iOS device. So the same interface will be provided for you along with some options. So we are going to utilize that method class and get our image from the user. So the controller which we use is UI image picker controller. So first you have to check whether the camera is available or not. So if you are running on a simulator or emulator, camera will not be available. You cannot access the webcam of your computer onto your emulator. Or let's say if you are running on an iPhone 3GS phone, you won't have a front camera. So you will, before accessing front camera or any other camera, you have to check whether you have the camera source or not. So after that only you have to proceed. So this is the first if condition we have for checking whether you have camera or not. And then you have to create an image picker controller, and then you are setting a delegate. Delegation is nothing but a pattern where ownership of an object will be given to your present class. So for any UI interaction on this controller will be informed to your present class, so that I am giving a self, and all the interactions that are done on my image picker controller will be given here, and I will do some actions accordingly. So we are taking it from camera, and so the picker source type should be source type camera. So these are all the variables that are inside UIKit framework. And media types, so whenever you talk about camera, so you can take videos or you can take images. So you have to mention before only, so what kind of media types you wanted from the picker controller. So here you have KUTT type image. So this means that it will give access for you only for images out of this controller. You cannot take videos from this controller. And you have an option called allows editing. So after capturing image on your controller, so do you want to crop it? So you don't need to implement it on your own. So if you say allows editing variable as yes, so it will ask you to whether to crop it or to modify it or to apply any filter on it, and it will prompt you whether give it unmodified or modify it. And after setting each and everything for this object, then you will say show it to the user. So whenever you say, this will be shown to the user, and user will be able to go through all the process and capture the image. So here we have an else case. So if there is no image, if there is no camera, then you are going to throw an alert. So with an UI alert view, you use this for showing alerts. So you will say that camera is not available, so please select any device with camera capability. So the next one is like selecting image from photo library. So the major difference between selecting from camera and selecting from photo library is nothing but the source type. If you just change picker.source type as source type photo library, so the picker controller will take images directly from your albums. So here also you will have all the things like you will have media types, you will have allows editing. So whenever you mention any media type as image, so it will not show you any videos that are present on your phone. It will show only images that are present on your photo album. And so we have seen that we have set a delegate. So whenever some UI interaction has been occurred on the picker controller, so it will be informed to some methods. So the methods here are, so image picker controller did finish picking image. So this is the method which will be called whenever the user has completed selection of his image. So here it will return you, it will give you an image. UI image is nothing but an NS object of image type, and if it is edited, you will get all the details of editing info. You will get what is the time taken, so you will get if it is modified, you will get what is the F number, you will get what is the size of that image, what is the pixel, and all those details will be inside your editing info. So here, if you have an image, then we are going to set our image view with an image. So whatever the image you get, you are going to set it to the image view, whatever we have designed it in our storyboard. If user clicks cancel, so you will get a call to image picker controller did cancel, and you have to dismiss whatever the image picker controller, whatever you have shown, you have to remove it from the screen. So if you are able to see my screen, this will be the flow to select it from a photo library. So the first image is nothing but an action sheet. So whatever we have written the code for. So this is the action sheet. So this will have options for camera, image library, and cancel. So if you click cancel, nothing will happen. So if you click camera, it will check whether the camera is present and it will open the camera interface. So right now, if you select image library, so you have two photo albums here. One is moments and the other one is camera roll. So let's select moments here. You have 5 photographs here. So if you select any photograph out of it, so it will be selected and given back to your did finish picking media, and there you are setting the image. So this will be the final screen. So I have selected the first image from here, and this first image will be shown to the user. So if you wanted to capture it again, so you can click this capture button and select it again. And now let's go for the requirement 2. So you have got your image. You have got the image and did finish picking media, and there you have set this image to your image view. Now, how to save this image to your photos album? So let's say you need it for further reference. So then you have to save it either to your local database or to your images album. So the simplest way is to store it in your photo album, so that will give you an unique identifier for that media, and you can store that media type in your application. So now, how do you save any image to your photos album? Is nothing but you have a method called UI image, right, to save photos album. So this method, this is a C type of method, and this method will take the image whichever you wanted to save, and a selector, nothing but a method that should be called whenever the saving is complete or you have got an error. So error or success, that is nothing but failure or success, will be managed by this method image saved. So inside your did finish picking image, you are going to write this 2 lines of code to save photos album. So you have an if condition. You are going to check if it is a new media or not. So why you need to check this is nothing but, so let's say you have selected an image from photos album itself. So then there is no need to save it again to photos album, because that will create a duplicate for the same image. Only when you select the image from camera, only then you are going to save it to your photos album. So after selecting it, obviously you are going to dismiss the image picker controller. So this way you are going to save pictures to your albums. Now let's say you wanted to see, so you went to many places, you went to Agra, you went to Kanyakumari, you went to Kashmir and all the places, and you wanted to see how many places you have covered. Then you need to have a list. The better option for this is, so capture your latitude and longitude wherever the photo is taken and save them in your application, and whenever a user wants it, you can show it in a map view, so that a user will know, okay, this much area of the world is covered, so I'm going to cover this country next. So how do you get the user's location? It's nothing but you use core location framework. So we are going to cover in-depth scenarios for all these frameworks in our course. So how do you get a current location is nothing but, so the first thing is that you have to create an object for CL location manager. And so whenever you say start updating location, and and after you set a desired accuracy, so accuracy is nothing but should you have a 10-meter accuracy or 1 kilometer accuracy. So that depends upon the battery life of the battery of the device also. So if you go for the most accurate desired accuracy, it will drain your battery much faster than anything. So the best option is, so you have to put your desired accuracy as KCL location accuracy best. So this is the optimum for battery and the accuracy of the user's location. And whenever you say start updating location, so whenever there is a change in the location, so you will be getting a call to method called did update to location from location. So this is the delegate method that is present in core location framework, and you will get called to this along with your new location and the old location. So this location is nothing but a type of CL location object. So this location object will consist of latitude, longitude, altitude, and all the things that are required for your location. It will also have the desired accuracy also. So if you just wanted to print it, so you can use nslog. That is the logging statement we use. This nslog is a logging statement we use in Objective-C for logging anything. So percentile @ is the identifier for the object. So here you are converting this latitude or longitude, that is in double, into a string, and then you are logging it. So basically, to achieve your requirement, what you have to do is you have to capture this, save it in your application, and show it whenever it is required. So you have captured location whenever the photograph was taken. Now, how to show it on a map? So is it very much tedious task? Means no. So similarly, like image view, you have an option called, you have an element called map view. So this map view will automatically show everything on your screen. Only thing you need to do is drag it and drop it on your UI, and then set some variables. So here we are setting map type. So I think you guys know kinds of maps which you see on Google Maps. You will have satellite, you will have hybrid, and you will have a normal plain map. So if you select hybrid, so you will be able to see the satellite screen and the normal map at a time, and that will be easier for you to look at the map exactly. And you can say whether zooming is enabled or not. So if you say no, you will not be able to zoom. And you have this latitude and longitude. Now, how to show this coordinate on map? Means first thing, you have to create a region. So this region, you have to create it with this latitude and longitude, whichever you have got it from the previous steps. So region.center.latitude is something, and region.center.longitude is something which you got it from the previous steps. And if you say map view set region and animate it, so it will animate it. So whatever the map is showing on the application, so that will be animated to your coordinate, like whatever you see it on Google Maps or normal maps application. That animation, you don't need to handle it. Everything is done by iOS itself. And now the major part. So today the world is on social media. So let's say you wanted to post to Facebook whatever you have done at your place. So you don't need to open a separate application for each of the social websites, and you don't need to post it. So you can have all of them in your application. And the best part is, it will not ask you to log in again and again. So single sign-on is implemented in iOS, and you can use whatever the accounts that are logged in to your iPhone device directly into your application. You don't need to go through all the over implementations for Facebook or Twitter or anything. So right now Apple supports Facebook and Twitter. So if the user is logged into Facebook account on his iPhone, then you can directly access his Facebook account. So now we have 3 services inbuilt. So there are some other sites that are going to be implemented by Apple, but right now we have Twitter, Facebook, and Sina Weibo implementations ready in our application. And how do you post something to any social website? Is nothing but first create a SL Compose View Controller object and set some properties to it and say post. So it will do everything else. So let's say we have created a FB controller, Facebook controller right now. So you have to give what is the type for which you are going to compose. So you have to give the property SL service type Facebook, and after that you are going to give what it should do whenever you get any interaction from the user. That is nothing but completion handler. So this is a kind of blocks. So these are the blocks that you will be learning in depth in the sessions. So for each and every action of the user on the UI for Facebook controller or SL Compose View controller, so you will get a result out of it. And if that result is SL Compose View controller result cancelled, then you can do something. Here we are just logging whether it is cancelled or whether it is posted. And if you say result done, so you have a success and your post is posted. So this is the completion handler you are creating, and you have to set this completion handler to your FB controller. So now you are going to post an image to your FB controller. So you have to set a property, add image, FB controller, add image. So whatever the image you have it inside your image view, you are going to select that. And we are hard coding in initial text. So whatever the text you wanted to type, post it along with your image. So we are hard coding it. So if you want, you can create an alert view and ask for a user to type something about this post, and you can get the input from the user and have it as an initial text. So after that, we'll set the set completion handler. So this completion handler will be called whenever something happens on this controller, and you are going to handle it on your completion handler. So whenever you say present view controller, that will be shown. So this is the way you have to do it on social networks. So that's all for our use case. We have covered almost all the 4 scenarios. So now the major question for all you guys will be, so what are the job trends we have, and why do I need to go for iOS development? It should not be a hobby for you. So it might get, it most probably will get you much more rewards than whatever the present technology you have. So you can join a company which is giving iOS development for you, or if it is a hobby for you, you can always go as an independent developer and create some applications and post it to Apple. So you know how many apps does Apple have? It has 850,000 applications in its app store, and so 45 billion downloads in less than 5 years. And there are more than 10 million iOS customers worldwide. So whenever you see the user base, it is very large. So the probability of having a failure for your application will be very less. So a normal application will have at least 1,000 downloads. So depending upon your UX and the other things, it may go a lot higher than that. So you can always go to all the users with your ideas. So Apple is coming up with latest technologies and a lot of features in their SDKs and hardware. So you don't need to feel that this idea is already implemented, I don't have any more ideas. So Apple is updating, and you can also have updated ideas, and you can create your applications there. So whenever you come to jobs, so it's almost 3 lakh economy jobs are created in US, and there are 275,000 registered iOS developers only in US for Apple. So whenever you have to upload any of your application to App Store, you have to be a registered iOS developer, and it has 275,000 developers only in US, that is not worldwide. So you have a bigger markets like UK, Europe, Australia, and all others are bigger markets for Apple. Now, if you see Indeed.com, you have 6,000 developer jobs in US only. And the best part is you get paid for your applications. You can charge something for users to download your applications, or you can charge them via in-app purchases. So if you give out basic versions for users, so if they want to use much of it, you can ask them to pay anything. So like this, $9 billion has been paid to Apple developers. So you can think how big this amount is, and you will get to know how much you can earn if your application is good enough. And your Apple App Store are mainly based in developed countries. So the probability that users will buy an application will be high, and there is no doubt that you will get a good revenue. So now, let's see what are all the course topics we cover in this sessions. So we have divided it into 12 modules, and the first module will be about introduction of iOS and the design pattern, basic design pattern, nothing but model view controller design pattern. So we will discuss more about MVC patterns and how to use Apple developer resources and all those in module 1. And in module 2, we will learn what is Objective-C, how to write it, how to write it in a syntax form, how to initialize any objects, and all those things in module 2. So in module 3, you will go in depth of foundation framework. So how you will be able to manage strings or show labels to user on the device and all those things. So in the module 4, we will go about polymorphism in views. So you can have object oriented in any objects. So in module 4, we will discuss more about polymorphism in views and how to manage multiple view controllers in your application. And in module 5, you will see more about what are protocols and what are blocks, and what are the major animations and basic animations you can implement them in your application, and the main part, auto layout, how to support different screen sizes for your application. Now you have 3.5 inch screen, 4 inch screen, 4.7 inch screen, and 5.5 inch screen. So all these 4 screen sizes you will be able to support in a single project using auto layout. And in module 6, you will learn about multi-threading. So how to do things in a threaded way, how to get things, how to interact with the client or server interactions in asynchronous ways, and how to load things, kind of lazy loading in module 6. In module 7, you will learn about persistence, documents, and core data. Nothing but how to store data inside your application, local database implementation, and all those things. In module 8, you will learn what are all the core location objects or methods that are present, and how to utilize it to the most, and how to display all these locations on a map kit. And in module 9, you will have some miscellaneous things like how to present a view controller, or what are the alerts, how you can alert a user using alerts or action sheets, or if you are going to take some inputs from user, how are you going to do that using text fields and all those things. And in module 10, so you will see about iCloud implementation. You can sync any data of your application within all the devices on Mac, iPad, iPhone, and all iDevices. And localization. So if you wanted to support multiple countries, so if you wanted to support multiple languages, then localization comes into picture. And how to implement push notifications. So here ends the Objective-C part, and in module 11 we will give you introduction about Swift. That is the latest language that has been introduced by Apple in this year, and so how to use Swift to write the same applications, and what is the syntax, how you initialize the methods there, what is the major difference between Objective-C and Swift. And in module 12 we will see about playgrounds and much deeper stuff in Swift. So that's all we have for this session. And do you have any questions? Yeah, we can end this session if you don't have any questions now. That's all for today. Thank you.